And now for something completely different. Canadian beer, which has to be said is a bit of a mystery to me, and to these guys too, as it turns out. Let's have a look. Yes, Rascal and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, or I'm still mysteriously calling the Disco Arms. And yes, this video is something completely different, or at least a little bit different, being it's Canadian beer, a country for beer I don't really know too much about, I have to be honest, despite having been there a good 15 years ago now, and probably being fairly drunk in both Toronto and Vancouver. Couldn't tell you what I was drinking. The only thing I really know about Canadian beer probably is Molson Coors brewing in this country, which is a bit of a dark matter and probably a discussion for another video. The only other thing is probably various bottles of Labatt's Ice in nightclubs in the 90s. And that's about it for Canadian beer for me. I've never really got around to looking at the country beer, probably because we don't really get any in this country. And I'm still too busy doing British beer. So it is different. It is a bit of a mystery. Looking forward to getting into it. The reason I got this beer was a chance meeting with a Canadian brewing team, Kyle from Victoria Brewing. It's a brewery he's setting up, or rather re-establishing, in Victoria, British Columbia. I have to say, I don't know too much about the geography of Canada either. Again, despite having been there, so I don't really know British Columbia or the city of Victoria. This is not one of his beers. This is another one he's donated. Gave us a sample of Canadian beers. Said give it a go. I do have one of his beers in the stash as well, so I might try it out on a separate video. This one is Hoyne Brewing. It's dark matter. It's 5.3%, and that's about as much as I know about it, apart from what's on the side of the can, which is a quick quote from the brewmaster about dark matter and science. Put it up on screen now. Also, not exactly unusual ingredient list. The usual one, filtered water. That's don't normally say that, and a blend of British and Canadian malted barley, British Columbia hops and yeast. Don't know very much about British Columbia hops, to be fair. So curiosity kind of got the better of me before, and I did have a quick look on their website. Opened up the page and read the first line, and kind of stopped reading after that because it says, we don't put the beer style on the side of the cans because we don't really know what it is. So I stopped reading at that point because I kind of thought, well, there's a mystery beer right there, and I'll get into it and find out for myself. Getting a bit dark here now, perhaps appropriately. So let's just get into a glass before we lose the light entirely and see what we find. Oversized can, as I guess is for the Canadian market, 473ml. Another different can size to add to the collection. Pours into the glass. Quite bubbly. Nice looking head development on that. Fills the glass. Looking good, and it is indeed, as suspected, a dark beer. Okay, nice and dark in the glass. Thought I'd use a tribute glass because it is kind of a tribute, since I've been donated the beer. Let's get into it. Ooh, very distinct ale kind of aroma. Big on the maltiness. Picks up a little bit of yeast aromas there as well. Sounds very much my kind of thing. Let's get into it, see what I can taste. Cheers, and thanks for the beer. Yeah, often say on this channel, I do like the kind of darker beers, and for me, it kind of hits the spot. There's a little bit of roasted malt character going on there. A little bit of I always get kind of burnt toast kind of thing, but in a good way. Uh, there's a little bit of kind of sultani, raisiny kind of notes. A little bit of brown sugar. I often talk about what these sort of beers remind me of, and it's kind of winter beer sitting by the fireside in a pub. Bear with me, just can take the photographs and adjust that lighting. That's going to look terrible for continuity, but here we are. At least I can see the beer a bit more. Let me see. Can wrap a bit better now. I love the green. It's that Aurora Borealis style sky across the mountains. Really liking the can wrap, and on the other beers I did briefly see on the website. Let's have a quick look at our website now then, and see what they said. Okay, so yeah, Dark Matter is the only beer we make where we don't say on the bottle what style it is. This is for a very good reason. Even we don't know. It is more easily described by what it isn't. It's not as roasted as a stout, fair enough, but there are some roasted notes there. Nor is it as sweet or high in alcohol as a porter. As much as I love the styles of stout and porter as well, I still get confused between the two. There is a certain amount of sweetness there, but yeah, it's really more about the roasted notes of the roasted barley there. I don't even mention brown ale in the same breath. Well, there is some distinct overlap. Like the Northern Lights, it is seductively elusive, bringing the mystery of the universe into your glass. Well, yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit of all of those things and a little bit more. I would say probably closest to like a British dark ale or even an old ale, which is usually fairly dark, got this kind of Christmassy kind of roasty malt fruit flavours going on. What I can say is I really like it. It's really nicely balanced across all of those flavours. Really enjoyable. Like I say, on a cold winter's evening in front of a fire, spot on. But even in a coldness January afternoon and a darkening evening. As a first look at Canadian craft beer, I know that's not going to signify the entire the entire range of Canadian craft beer, but as a first one, it's a really good start. Really enjoyed it. Thanks very much to Victoria Brewing Company for dropping the can in, and pleased to meet you up at the Paravel the other day. Have a brief chat about beer, and all the best with that adventure. Cheers to Hoyne Brewing for producing this. It's a very interesting beer. I'm enjoying it. For those more knowledgeable than me, do drop in the comments what I missed about Canadian beer, especially if you've had anything from Hoyne Brewing. Do let us know. So yeah, I'm going to sit back, enjoy the rest of this pint. Well, very nearly a pint, 473 ml can. Really enjoying the beer. Totally my kind of thing. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the last of it, and the last of the winter sunshine today. So yeah, cheers, and wherever they're from, enjoy the beers. I'm in Disco, Rasco and Disco beer review. Cheers and enjoy the beers.